Hello. Hello. Welcome to our channel.
Hello.
Hello? Check 1 2. Check Pinto. Pinto, what do you think? Sound check. Give us a snort. Snort. Snorty snort. I think it's working.
It's working.
It's working.
All right.
All right. Here we are.
Hello.
Hello.
This is part 2
This is
of the About Us.
about us. The origin story of the scrambled legs and wagging tails.
Yes.
And I remember, well, last time we were here together, we talked a lot about me, and Judy just kind of slid by under the radar and didn't talk about herself at all, and was like bringing up stuff of my past that like I played football. Yeah, like 37 years ago. I don't know what that was important to, but it was. And
It just occurred to me to say it. And
it's like, he played football. I'm like, well, yeah, he
He
did.
played football, and he was a runner.
Yeah.
I think I wanted to give you some context, though,
'Cause
that he got out of shape, but he was in shape.
Before I was a fat guy, I was a thin guy, and then I was a fat guy, and now I'm a thin guy again. So, but that's we could do that some other time, and
That's another video.
that's another video altogether.
So today we're going to do 2.0.
Yes. And we're going to talk about Judy a little bit.
Oh, boy.
So, she always gets really nervous about talking about herself.
It's hard.
But so I figured I would start out with some easy questions. Like, could you describe quantum entanglement?
That's when you get up really early in the morning and you step outside onto the deck with your coffee, but you're not fully awake and you have one eye open and one closed, and you walk into a big spider web that's wet with morning dew and just creepy and crawly, and it hits you right in the face. That's what that is.
Okay, well, that's good. All right. Good answer. So, no, seriously, though. So what made you a hiker?
I don't know. I think that I've always felt like I've been in my element when I'm in the woods, in the trees. I feel almost like it's like going home. I've just always felt that way. And I've always wanted to be outside. I was a runner in my 40s and loved being outside. And my favorite way of running would be trail running because it was in the woods. And so I just built on that. And around 2013, I started running, further and further, doing trail running and stuff. And I was really getting into shape. By 2016, I had a dream that I wanted to run the Grand Teton Half Marathon in Grand Teton National Park. I actually did register and was accepted to run in that race, but I had some health problems of my own back then, and I ended up, I'll give you the condensed version. I ended up emaciated, trouble swallowing, put in the hospital, and then I was on a feeding tube for a year. So that ended my running abruptly, but my heart still wanted to be out in the woods. And so after my feeding tube and my course of therapy, and I was able to swallow again, I went back out there into the woods, not running, but walking. And I started hiking. And, I was doing hikes in Ringing Rocks area of Pennsylvania, the Appalachian Trail, and Delaware Water Gap a lot up there. And then in 2016, I had the great desire to climb Mount Washington. I'd never climbed a mountain before, and I underestimated that hike, but I did do it in July 6, 2016, in a pair of fashion boots from Kohl's, denim jeans, and my favorite running hoodie that said 13.1 because I'm only half crazy. And I hiked Mount Washington that day with a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, who we actually, there were like 7 women who went up to Conway, New Hampshire to hike Mount Washington. And that day, my friend Linda and I, we just, our pace was faster and we just got way ahead of the other girls. And eventually we lost them and we just kept going. And I had purchased a map in the visitor center right before that hike. But I can't read a map.
We've learned that. We've learned that many times.
I'm directionally challenged. And so Linda and I, when we got partway up, I think we got to the something hut. I can't remember the name of it, but it was on Tuckerman's Ravine. We started in Pinkham Notch and we were going up Tuckerman's Ravine. We came to a crossroads and there was a sign there that said Mount Washington, arrow that way. And then underneath of that, it said Lion Head Trail. And we didn't know what that meant. And so we just started going in that direction. And I didn't find out until we finished that hike that the Lion Head Trail is a lot of bouldering, a lot of outcropping, and do not attempt that unless you are an experienced climber. And this was my first climb. So we got almost to the summit. I think we were maybe a mile out. We turned around the head wall and we were in the alpine zone, and we turned and the weather just turned on us. It started to sleet. It started to rain, frozen rain, all on boulders, all on rock outcropping in Cole's boots. And we came upon a dog who popped its head out. It looked like a German Shepherd dog up there. And I said to Linda, because we were socked in by clouds and we couldn't see anything and didn't realize we were actually walking on a ridge. Either side of us, we could not see the drops, but I saw a dog. And we started following the direction of the dog. And then we saw some people, a few men who were up there. They were our trail angels from Quebec, Canada. And they agreed to do the rest of the hike with us. So we did, and we summited. It was probably about almost 80 degrees in Pinkham Notch at the base. And by the time we summited, it was about 31 degrees and there was about 8 inches of snow on the ground. So that was interesting. And we got up too late to hike back down. So by Providence, we were able to get tickets for the auto road. They have a bus or a van that takes people up and down Mount Washington who don't want to climb it. And so that day we ended up getting a ride back down, and that was really super nice. My knees were all bruised up. I was so just jacked up after that hike. I remember when I went to sleep that night, I woke up several times just jumping out of my skin, out of a sound sleep. And what do they call that? Your
nervous system's just kind of overrun.
Yeah. But, after that hike, even though it was type 2 fun and near death experience, that was the beginning of my desire, my intense desire to hike and climb. So I started climbing mountains after that, and I've been to after that I started climbing up. Well, I don't know if you can call them mountains on the East Coast in the Delaware Water Gap area in New York. They're well-worn hills compared to some of the places in our country that are out west, but Mount Washington was my first climb. And then the following year, I was so pumped about climbing that I traveled to Peru, and I hiked the Inca Trail, and I I climbed Machu Picchu. And after that, the world was just laid out there before me, and my desire to go out was just really intense. And so I started traveling. And I've been to Ireland, to Iceland, South America, Canada, and that's, kind of how the next several years, unfolded for me. A lot of travel, domestic and international, and also the hiking and the climbing. And that's where I'm at today.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it.
And what about your biking adventures?
Oh, so I've always liked to ride bike, but I do fall over. I'm not real good with dips and rivets in the path and stuff like that. So oftentimes if you're biking with me, even on rail trails, if we're going over train tracks or if there's kind of a chewed up trail, I will get off and I will walk because I do tend to fall over. And so right before Bill and I met, I was kind of on a journey, a solo journey by myself. I was not in a relationship with anybody, and I was just, going off and doing things on my own. I was doing a lot of hiking, but I was sticking to the trails and the woods that I was familiar with. So that was kind of getting boring to me, and I felt like I could get more miles in if I just hopped on my bike and started going. So I started bicycling. I did a lot of the DNL trail, and I would go up to Jim Thorpe quite often, and I would take the bike train up to Whitehaven and pedal myself back by myself. And I really, really enjoyed, bike riding because it was something where I could get 20 or 30 miles in without, having to walk it. And so I really started doing a lot more bike riding in 2023. I think it was 2023. And then in 2024, that's when Bill and I met. And when we went on our first date and we met and we were sitting in the restaurant and we talked about the things that we enjoyed doing, the bicycling was a big thing for us because he's a mountain biker and I'm a mountain hiker. But I also bike ride. And so he's been really good about tamping down his abilities and doing rail trails with me and our little floofs here because they like to bike ride also. And so that's where we are. Yeah. We're your scrambled legs, and we have our wagging tails, and our adventures mostly are going to consist of hiking and bicycling. Right. And then some other, we're getting older, so sometimes we just do the touristy thing also. But every time we go away, we always make sure that we, that we include a little bit of everything in what we're doing, and just having fun. I mean, that's the biggest thing. When we met and we started, talking, we had decided that we were getting older, and our journeys in life, brought us through different experiences, and we don't regret any of them. We're really happy because they've shaped us and they've molded us to grow. And by the time we met each other, we were at the point where it was like, all right, this is manifestation time. Yeah. And it's time to just have fun. Right. And just live life almost with a childlike wonder and just have fun. Right. And that's what we do. That's right. Have we had challenges and, some health setbacks and things like that? Of course we have. Yeah. But we face them together. Yeah. And then we just move forward because the goal is just to make everything fun. And
live every day like it's, like it's supposed to be lived. Mm-hmm. Be in the moment. Live each day to the fullest. Yeah. Because you really don't know how long you have, and nothing is guaranteed. And everybody says that, but it's not very often that you really bump up against that. No. And I mean, the reality, struck us also. I mean, we already started, into our relationship with each other and into our marriage with the intent to have fun, to face every day optimistically and, with happiness and joy, true joy in our hearts. But we have had a couple of, blips. We both have had our experience this year with the dreaded cancer. Yeah. And we are both going to be very health conscious. And also we're going to get past it. We're going to get past it because we are determined. We have a lot of things that we're still going to do. Right. And so that's where we're at. Yeah. We have a lot of stuff, like we said in the last video, that we're going to do this year. A lot of traveling. And we've been started to put our button on next year also. We're going to go to Italy next year because we're also very big fans of pro cycling. Yes. So I am the United Arab Emirates team. That's right, and I'm Team Vismalisa. Yes. So Jonas and all of the Americans on Vismalisa we're big fans of, and of course Tade. And of course Tade Pagacha. Yeah. He's my biker. And, it was really cute because last year Bill had, I don't know how you did it, but he ended up getting Pinto and Willow's names put on the Vismalisa bike On their cycling jerseys from the
cycling
Tour de
jerseys.
France.
So our dogs' names
Were on their jerseys
for the Tour de France last year.
So
that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So the fans from it's called the Fan Peloton. You could basically you can buy in and they'll put their names on. And so there were names of hundreds and thousands of people in this, and right in and every shirt was different. So each of the guys had different names on different shirts. So there were so many names put in, but on one of the shirts it says Pinto and Willow Sheeran. And I know it
was so cool though to watch the tour last year and know that our dogs' names were on the jerseys of that team.
They were famous.
It was super cool.
Yes.
Yeah, so next year our plan is to go in the month of May to Italy. Of course, we will do some hiking and we will do, some winery hopping and eat good food and all that. But we would also like to photograph some of that.
Some of the Giro d'Italia.
Giro d'Italia next year. That's our goal, is to get out there and try to meet up with them and do some photography of the bikers, because we are also photographers.
Yeah.
And Bill photographs professionals. Bill photographs sports professionally. Yeah. And I'm more of a landscape photographer, but I also do wedding photography, and that's fun. Yeah. I enjoy doing that. So that's kind of us in a nutshell. Yeah. I hope that answers your question.
That's part. Yeah, that's part two. That's a little bit more about Judy than she was going to give up last time. She didn't give up anything last time. So I was like, I felt we had to come back and delve a little bit more into her life, as opposed to I don't know where some of mine came from, but it was.
I will tell your story.
Yeah, she said.
Probably in a way that it didn't go down but I'll tell your story.
She's very good at that. But that's it for tonight, I guess.
Yeah, so thanks for joining, and hopefully we will have a more action-packed video for you next time.
Yep.
We do have a wedding that we're attending this next weekend, but we do hope to get out there on a rail trail and bike ride, which we will make sure that we document and bring that to you as our next video. We don't know what we're doing yet. We're not sure which trail we're going to do, so we're going to decide that this coming week, and we hope to bring that to you. And in the meantime, we're going to put up little snippets of the past trips that we've done last year on the Insta 360. Yep. We didn't really talk into the camera then.
Yeah, we were, but we have lots of footage.
We have lots of footage, trips to Scotland and Colorado, California, Arizona, we've got a lot.
Maine, yeah, all over the place.
Yeah. So, again, thanks for joining, and and our subscribers are up to 17. Thank you so much for.
I just realized that when you raise your hand like this, it stops the video sometimes. And it did. So we're back.
Yeah. So I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted that we appreciate every one of you who do subscribe to our channel, and we're just starting. Right. So it's it's not real.
And Pinto, he's worth at least 5 to 10 subscriptions right now. Look at him.
Yes. He says, please do subscribe to our channel because we got a lot more shenanigans coming up.
That's right.
And you're going to enjoy them.
Just hit that button right there.
Hit that button.
That button, or this button, or this button over here.
Thanks for joining.
All right. Bye-bye.
Make sure you like it.
And subscribe.
That's right.
Bye. I'm going to try to turn this off now.